Radio 1030.
All right, we're in the home stretch here on WBZ. This is the Jordan Rich Show. Jordan's off tonight. My name is Morgan filling in. That's my buddy Scott Schwartz. And Scott, there have been a lot of wrestlers talking about how things have changed. Bruno never crossed over. There were a few movies, but they were playing wrestlers. But Chief Jay Strongbow never crossed over.
No.
But now with John Cena or Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock, and naturally Hulk Hogan, where Scott and I have the TV on in here, and they just showed a Gladiators commercial, and here comes Hulk Hogan as one of the Gladiators.
You know, I've worked with Dwayne The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
He's fabulous. He's a great actor. He's a great personality. I worked with him as Scorpion King. The problem with some of these guys like the Hulk Hogans, the Randy Savages, they can't be anything other than what they are.
Right.
They can't be. So it's tough to play a character actor. It's tough for these guys. They all want to do it. They feel like they can do it. Cena wouldn't be acting if it wasn't for Vince McMahon.
Right.
Vince McMahon is a producer on these films. Vince McMahon produced a film with Stone Cold. I didn't see it. I can't tell you what kind of actor he was.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you've seen it. That's the problem. You just can't break out of that persona, and people don't want to see you in any other persona. But then when you get on the big screen, people are like, well, he's just like his wrestling character. I didn't like it.
You know, there's a movie with The Rock. He's done a number of movies, like Bang, Bang, Bang in a row. We talked about some actors who take 2 years in between a film. But the John Travolta film, which was a sequel to Get Shorty,
Yes.
Be Cool, I loved The Rock in that because it was like a parody of himself with the eyebrow arch that he did. And you can't imagine The Rock as a gay character.
Exactly. He played it off to perfection.
And that was his singing.
Yeah, if you take your mind off of the fact of who he is and you watch his performance, you would have to say, wow, he's just a guy who they cast to play that part. You would never know that he's not that character.
Right. And it seemed like he had fun. That whole Get Shorty, quote, Be Cool series, franchise, once there are two that's a franchise, they always seem like they're having fun doing that movie.
You know, if you don't have any fun, it's time to hang up your tights.
Well, of all the movies you have done, which one did you have the most fun doing?
Well, I think that from an acting standpoint and a work standpoint and working with the guys, it has to be the Ocean's films. I worked weeks and weeks and months on those films all together, and every minute was a dream. At the end of the show, you hate to say goodbye. At the end of the day, you hate to say goodbye. When you say, see you tomorrow, you're all excited about coming back tomorrow. It's like a great job that you dreamed of. Creative-wise, the best film I ever worked on that I had more fun was this film where I played a cholo, a Los Angeles gang member, called Carmen the Champion with Carmen the Gospel Singer as the lead. And I'm this drug-dealing guy who is going around trying to kill this preacher. And I had fun with it because I could delve into the slang, the gang slang, and speak Spanish, and everyone loved that performance. So creative-wise, for me, that was my favorite film.
Because that's acting. You're doing a role
Exactly.
that you're not
Yeah,
familiar with. That's what acting is about.
absolutely.
The Ocean's, you had more face time in Ocean's 11. The cameo is kind of like the court-appointed attorney for Bernie Mac, and the third one where you're seeing going up with oodles of chips,
We're just ripping Al Pacino's Casino off.
Ocean's 13. When you do a movie like that and your scene's done, are you allowed still to come to the set and just appreciate people you're working with? Or once your scenes are done, that's it, don't come back?
I have an open invitation to go anywhere with that whole group or do anything. The only problem is I don't want to look like some guy who's not, because I'm not. I'm not some unprofessional minor
Hanger-on.
leaguer that's oh, I'm gonna hang around. Oh, can I touch you,
Yeah,
or can I hold your
stalker
hand?
like.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't go over really well. I don't never got into that whole thing.
How long? All right, now let's to compare all three. The scenes, plural, that you did in Ocean's 11. How long did it take to shoot those?
Altogether, I was on, and that film, altogether, I was on that film, I think for a week contract, and then Soderbergh brought me back for an extra day later on because he wanted to get a shot of the back of my head with those tattoos on it,
Mm-hmm.
which of course I don't have because I'm a Jew and I'm not allowed to get tattoos.
Yes. And what about Ocean's 12, where you walked to the jail cell to get Bernie Mac out of jail?
Ocean's 12 was a much bigger deal because don't forget I kept getting cut out of the
Right.
script and brought back. I was flown to Chicago a couple times. I was doing all kinds of stuff and working, technically working, but not working. Never got on screen. They were cutting scenes. They were changing things. I was on
Then they
hold for a
rewrote
couple of
you in.
Yeah, I was on hold for a couple of weeks. I had a great scene with Julia Roberts, which, to my credit, and thank the guy above. Julia went when she found out that scene was cut. She said she wanted to work with me. To Jerry Weintraub, he told me that, and that's great. That's awesome. But that was cut, and everything was cut, and 17 rewrites on the Ocean's 12 script. And when you watch it, it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what.
Yeah, it's like they
do.
threw you in as an afterthought.
Yeah, and that's exactly the way it was because at the point where they cut my scenes, they were trying to figure out where they could use me, and at the very end, it was supposed to be Bernie Mac is just kicked out of jail because Catherine Zeta-Jones disappears,
Mm-hmm.
so he's let go from jail, and you see him walking out of the jail. They say, well, we have to let you go because she's not around, and they let him go. But Steven Soderbergh, who really wanted to get me back, wrote that entire scene just for me. It was not a scripted scene, but Soderbergh wanted to get me back, and he was dead set on it. He saw it as an opportunity. And if you don't have geniuses thinking about you constantly, that could have not been in the movie at all.
All right, real quick on 13, where you and the others are rushing up with chips. How many days?
I was on a 2-week contract for that.
There you go.
Yeah.
So whether they made that a lengthier scene or not, you get paid a decent.
Yeah, I just hung around. They used me in a shot of me and Brad Pitt exiting the casino, which if you watch it, you'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
If you look for it. Little stuff like that. They were going to write some other stuff in. They didn't do it. I got a 2-week contract. I hung out every day. Jerry Weintraub, the producer, made a gamblers club on the set. We shot that all at Warner Brothers. That was a built, fabricated casino in Ocean's 13, and we hung out on the set and had a ball every day.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, well, Scott, I want to thank you for coming. I've got about a minute and a half. Is there anyone else here in the Boston area, in case they're listening, you grew up around, not grew up around here, but you were
I've been here.
based here for a while. You want to say hi to them? You got a minute.
Dr. Donna Marillion, a great doctor out here. And just once again, Kevin the Butcher Hughes, a great friend of over 30 years, and those guys. And also the beautiful Misty in Tennessee.
Okay, there you go. How long have you been going out with Misty?
For about 3.5 years now.
So it's going to last.
Well, I don't know about that.
Scott Schwartz, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming in studio. And we've got to do this more often than once every 30 years, you in studio.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, anyone else, you want to stick with me to 3:30? I want you to. There will be a lot of people crying today. A nice card. You open it up. Warm sentiments. I want someone to call in and tell me the last time they cried. Not because they were